Hey guys, happy Thursday, otherwise known as Friday Eve, and welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So today, Thursday, was a rare Thursday because Mr. Rafa himself was in and he continued working on this bad boy here, which if you're new here is the 1500cc 36 for that bad boy. Anyway, today he pretty much he worked almost a full day actually. He worked on making the lines here for the fuel, or excuse me, for the oil filter. So hard line, this is actually the return, so it goes back into the case. So it doesn't sound like it would take most of a day to make a hard line, but he pretty much had to make the ends. So essentially what this is, and this is the way that the kits come, is you take the stud that holds the bracket for the distributor, and the kit comes with a hollow stud, and then the oil goes back through that stud, which in turn goes into the case. We didn't have that stud, and we're using hard lines instead of the usual braided lines that these things come with. So he pretty much made a fitting out of some other fittings and stuff like that, and then took the copper tubing, and let's see, one end has a flare on it, and then the other end uses a ferrule. So yeah, all super custom getting this stuff together. And then the other line will come from here. This is the feed line, and that one will come off this fitting right down here. So yeah, it's very time consuming when you have to pretty much like hand make and heavily modify pieces of hardware and stuff like that. But the end result's looking pretty amazing. So it's really going to look killer with the other line going here. And of course, Rafa will route it super neatly. And then I don't know if I mentioned this the other day. He did put the wire tube on. So as a 54, this still would have had a wire tube, which means that the spark plug wires will go through there. And we've got some cloth coated wires. So yeah, it's going to look amazing. That was pretty much his day. Oh, another little thing he did is we took some of the hardware off these and prepped it and sent it off to our zinc plater. Some of the hardware just was kind of dingy looking, and we're like, no, this thing's going to be amazing. Even all the hardware needs to look amazing too. So yeah, that's why some of the pieces are missing off here, because they are at the zinc plater currently. So that was mostly Rafa's day. Again, came in and worked most of the day today. Usually he's off on Thursdays and Fridays, but anyhow, so me, what did I do? Pretty much worked on the back end of this bad boy here. And so let me start on the inside and work my way out. So I ran home this morning and took this spacer here to my mill, and I milled off 2/10 of an inch, which is what I figured was needed to clear the air cleaner here to the deck lid, and it works perfect now. But yeah, spent quite a bit of time yesterday kind of mocking up different spacers and stuff in here to figure out how low we could go. And it is very close to the generator. You can kind of see, especially back there, but it does not in fact touch. So a little space is enough space. And more importantly, the deck lid now closes and doesn't hit the air cleaner. So that's a good feature. So once I got that sorted out, then I went ahead and installed the spring, which is back there. And then we wired up the license plate light. And I don't know, usually Wolfsburg West's harnesses are really, really good. But in this case, and Rafa said he's seen this before too. In fact, I think I've seen it on at least one car too, is the wire for the license plate light is too short by, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. And with how short it is, pretty much you could route it when the deck lid is open, but then because of the way the deck lid closes, it would be like pulled tight or ripped out or something when you close the deck lid. So you've got to have kind of a loop of wire in here in order for these things. Yeah, there it is right there. You got to have a loop of wire in there when this thing is open, so that when it closes, basically when it closes, this moves further away. And so you need this extra wire here, just like this. And there wasn't really enough. So we cut this way back here and spliced another wire on and some heat shrink tubing and so on and so forth. So yeah, it looks really good now. It looks factory, but yeah, it's kind of annoying that we had to do that. So if anyone from Wolfsburg sees this, make these wires about 4 inches longer, please. That will make me very happy. But anyway, so yeah, this complete assembly went on. So original bulb holder, but then new lens, seal, the little boot right here, new bulb obviously. So yeah, looking good. I'm gonna have to loosen this up to slide the license plate and mount in there, but in the meantime, I went ahead and got this all mounted up. And then likewise, the original release button here, and boom. Latch is really nice, very positive. And the cool thing is this is the original latch to this car, and it fits the same key that fits the doors, fits the ignition. So this is a true one key car, like they're supposed to be, where the one key literally fits everything. So very cool to have that. Usually, I don't know, I can say on at least one of my cars, I probably have at least 3 keys. I don't know, maybe even 4. Kind of annoying, but yeah, this baby, very well preserved car that all those years kept the same key, the same locks, and so on. So bitchin'. So I believe that was it on this beauty of a ruby red here. Let me turn my attention to this guy then. So you saw the thumbnail, you saw this beauty here. I may save this for wall art. I kind of like it for some reason. But this, if I can do this without getting tetanus, yeah, this was the floorboard that we replaced in this car, the Speedster. So yeah, it was pretty bad, needless to say. So went ahead and ran down to Wolfsburg West this morning, picked up a new pan half, and then had Octavio go ahead and splice that in. So kind of the back third or so was actually okay. So he pretty much cut it here where you can see it and replaced the front portion there. The passenger side was okay. There was a few little holes that he welded up and stuff, and then went ahead and had my paint and body guy just put a kind of like wire brush them clean, and then put a quick coat of undercoating on them. So yeah, the floors in here are done now. So probably my upholstery guy will go ahead and start making and installing the carpet maybe tomorrow. So yeah, this thing should come along pretty good. All the red bits are done, all the vinyl stuff, so door panels and all these various pieces that go on the dash and stuff, and then the seats, which you guys have seen. So yeah, the interior for this thing may be done here in the next, I don't know, day or two. The owner was actually just by, and we talked about maybe having my upholstery guy make a boot for the e-brake lever and the shifter too. So that would look nice. We'll probably go ahead and do that. And then I need to round him up a steering wheel that's a little less crusty and aged looking. And then, yeah, then his interior is going to look pretty bitchin'. And I think we are probably going to try and polish this car, which I mentioned. It's not going to make it a perfect paint job, but it's going to look a hell of a lot better. And we're hoping that some of this stuff like this will polish out. My painter did verify that this is a 2-stage paint job, which means there is a clear coat over it. So when there's a clear coat, a lot of times you can polish out stuff that looks pretty bad. It just sort of depends on how thick the actual clear coat on it is. But this feels fairly superficial, so we're hoping that, and then there's just like scuff marks like this just everywhere on this car. I don't know what kind of environment this car was stored in, but the whole thing is just full of this stuff. And I think a lot of it is gonna polish out. Yeah, see, here's another bad spot. I mean, you can't even feel it. It's very superficial. So I think a lot of that's gonna come out. And so it's probably gonna take this car from being like, let's see. You guys know the saying, a 20-footer, like a car that looks good from 20 feet. This is probably about 20 feet right here. Car looks pretty good from 20 feet. So hopefully we can turn the paint job from a 20-footer into maybe a 10-footer. Yeah, that's probably about the point at which you start seeing some of these defects. So hopefully it'll still look good at 10 feet when we're done polishing it. It's not going to be a 1-footer because, you know, a lot of this like checking and stuff, we can't really polish that out. But we'll see. We're going to make it look a hell of a lot better. And then the wheel and tire combo and stuff, getting the front end up a little bit, it's going to look 1,000 times better than when it came in. And then with this bitchin' interior, yeah. So anyway, guys, that is actually it for today. So thank you as always for watching, and we will see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.